Every now and then, I'll play a game that leaves me with only a few choice words. Man, this game is awesome. And in the case of Ginga Fukei Densetsu Sapphire, yeah, this game is awesome. Tricky but fun shooting, absolutely ripping tunes, top-of-the-line graphics, and levels downright stuffed to the brim with unforgettable battles, Ginga Fukei Densetsu Sapphire is notable amongst PC Engine and shoot-'em-up collectors as one of the best the system has to offer, and I completely understand why. Following a group of 4 mecha pilots, Sapphire starts strong with an unapologetic 90s anime-ass storyline where you're tasked with fighting time-traveling terrorists who have stashed advanced weapons across various eras and locations in hopes of rewriting history and taking over the world. Now it's up to you and your squad to squash their leader and set things straight. That's right, you're the time police fighting time terrorists, and if you can't get behind that, then I don't think we could be friends. And what follows this ridiculous story is nothing short of amazing. Kicking into high gear to take down the treacherous time bandits, Sapphire gives you the choice of 4 pilots, each of which vary slightly in control and shot type. Some of the girls are faster and more agile, while others pack more punch but lumber in comparison. That said, the difference in controls between the 4 are negligible at best, since movement is tight and precise and never left me feeling incapable of evading danger, especially if I was in the right spot or had the patterns locked down. The more noticeable difference comes with the weapon types, of which there are 3: red, blue, and green. As is typical of the genre, each one can be powered up several times over, making your firepower all the more lethal with each stack. And boy do you feel on top of the world when your ship is firing on all cylinders, absolutely cleaning these stages. But what really makes the system shine is how each shot type is diversified between each pilot. For example, my favorite combo is using Helena and stacking green power-ups until she gets homing shots on both the front and back of her ship. Meanwhile, with Charlotte, the green shot isn't quite as powerful. Then again, regardless of your choice, each shot is plenty useful, especially once powered up, as you can gain the ability to shoot down oncoming attacks, which really aids your strategy as you can keep clear of head-on attacks while whittling down your foes. But if that's not enough, you also have a charge attack that builds when you ease off the fire button. Once charged, you can send some sticky bombs in an enemy's direction and really let him have it. And in classic shoot-'em-up fashion, you've got your screen-clearing bombs as a failsafe, as not only do they wipe out enemies and their bullets, but also pack enough punch to deal serious damage to whatever's in your way. For the PC Engine CD, this game is nothing short of a showstopper, exhibiting a relentless visual feast packed with stunning faux 3D effects. Achieved by utilizing the extra power of the arcade RAM card and scanning in pre-rendered 3D models similar to Donkey Kong Country, Sapphire ends up an incredible showpiece from level to level, as background objects morph into waves of enemies and bosses warp into polygonal beasts right before your very eyes. One moment you're soaring through the neon-soaked skylines of Neo-Tokyo to battle an intergalactic starfish, the next you're blasting a fire-breathing dragon with a strong disdain for bridges. Then it's off to navigate the inner chambers of a pyramid to take on a fully mechanized pharaoh. Sapphire never lets up, delivering one technical spectacle after another. And peppered between each of these bouts are other inventive showdowns just waiting to challenge your reflexes. And while the game may only last a scant 5 levels, not a moment of its 20-ish minute runtime is wasted, as every few seconds the next fearsome foe is ready to make your jaw drop, like the giant space squid and its deadly tentacles, the mecha crab who's not afraid to take you out by ricocheting itself around the screen, or the awesome wall crawler boss, which I swear was an unsung staple of 90s video game boss designs. Going hand in hand with the relentless action is Sapphire's absolutely ripping soundtrack, packed full of shredding guitar riffs and fiery solos that perfectly amplify the on-screen chaos. I mean, every track is full of that 80s heavy metal energy that you just can't go wrong with. And as odd as it sounds, I can't get enough of the game's crass sound effects that sound like they fell out of an Atari 2600 game. Despite their jarring quality, they strangely work in tandem with both the music and gameplay in a way that enhances Sapphire's wild and unforgettable charm. And what's a great game without an interesting history? Developed by Cap Productions in Hudson, Ginga Fukei Densetsu Sapphire started life as the third entry in their Gates of Thunder series before shifting direction once artist Mika Akitaka was brought on board. Akitaka, most known for his extensive design work throughout the Gundam franchise, also helmed the Galaxy Fraulein Yuna series of visual novels also found on the PC Engine. So the initial idea was to reshape the game to be part of the Yuna series. However, despite its inclusion in a PSP compilation alongside Yuna 1 and 2, there seems to be little correlation between the series and more or less has been grandfathered in by proxy. Nonetheless, anime fans who enjoy Sapphire might get a kick out of the two Galaxy Fraulein Yuna OVAs, as the animation company behind the series also lent a hand on Sapphire's cutscenes, adding another layer of shared DNA. From its top-notch graphics and excellent shooting mechanics, to its action-packed levels, inventive boss fights, and stellar soundtrack, Ginga Fukei Densetsu Sapphire is an outstanding experience from start to finish. While its concise runtime makes for a relatively short playthrough, as I stated above, not a single second is wasted. And thanks to its limited continues and tricky enemy patterns, you'll likely need a few runs before seeing it through to the end. Fortunately, this isn't some ferocious bullet hell, it strikes a good balance, offering up a healthy challenge that keeps you coming back for more. And while some might see it as a straightforward entry in the genre, I'd argue it delivers a relentless dose of action and dazzling spectacle that easily earns it a spot near the top alongside Radiant Silvergun. That said, the game does have one major downside, and unfortunately, it's the price tag. Released in 1995, near the tail end of the PC Engine's life cycle, it should come as no surprise that Sapphire has become a rarity amongst collectors that commands some serious dough. So if you have that kind of cash to dish out and the hardware to play it, then by all means go for it. But those of you looking for more affordable options, your best bet is to import the Galaxy Fraulein Yuna collection for the PSP or track down a PC Engine Mini, as it was rightfully included in the lineup. But if all else fails, emulation is always your friend. Regardless of how you get your hands on this game, do yourself a favor the next time you're in need of a good shmup and give Ginga Fukei Densetsu Sapphire a shot. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this episode, consider checking out these other videos right here, or even subscribing. Also, if you'd like to throw me a couple of bucks, you can support the show on Patreon.